This video is for anybody who is so unhappy that they're considering to leave planet Earth. I always have to be careful about the language I use in this video. I'm speaking now not as a neuroscientist, but as a person. I'm 34 years old. My life has only really started to make sense to me in the last few years. The vast majority of my life before that, I was desperately unhappy. I didn't know who I was. I felt talentless, useless, and stupid. The concept of a bright future for me was unimaginable. I hated myself, and actually for a lot of those years the people around me didn't like me very much either because of how much my unhappiness was informing my behaviour. Everything just felt entirely hopeless, and there were plenty of times during those years where I wanted to erase myself. I often wonder what would have happened to me if I'd have been living somewhere like the US, where I would have had access to one tool in particular, where it would have enabled me to make a split-second decision to act on those impulses. I suppose I'm just lucky that I didn't have access to those kinds of tools, because I can't even explain to you how surprising it is to me to arrive at a place in my life where I'm really happy. I didn't foresee that for myself at all. My life now in no way resembles anything I could have ever imagined. That sounds like a platitude, but really, like, every single aspect of my life is...
I can attest to this. When you're young and life seems difficult, like things are not working out, you have a tendency to think that these things are going to remain like this and nothing's ever going to change, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you work hard. Like you have a tendency to actually think that things will remain this way. You despair. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's around the corner. Your blessings could be just around the corner, so don't despair. I can attest to this one, because when we are young, we don't have life experience enough that shows us how life is going to be like, especially when you come from trauma, where you have parents who are neglectful, who don't care or explain things or show you how like life works. You tend to despair because you don't know what's next.
I never saw that coming for me. Almost all of the problems that I had during those years evaporated, and even the ones that haven't, it's like they changed shape, or I changed shape or something. The world is a totally different place to me now, and I'm a totally different person too. And it's not like life doesn't occasionally like pull the rug out from under my...
That's the other thing, is you become a totally different person who is much more capable of dealing with life issues than when you are younger. As you gain experience, things start falling in place. You become more integrated. Like the things that didn't feel like they were making sense, they start making sense. And now you can see life from above here instead of from inside here. That's where there's confusion. As you get older, you will get that kind of clarity. And if you don't think that you can get that clarity, I have a mental health class that you can take, and we can discuss these things that you think are so incomprehensible and too gigantic for you. Trust me, take my class. I am going to show you your superpower.
Feet and give me a brand new challenge to deal with. That obviously happens. Life is tumultuous. It's just very different now. Some of that was about getting help, some of it was about getting diagnosed. Like I lived all of those years with undiagnosed autism. A lot of it though was just like these small incremental efforts towards trying to figure out who I am.
I like that she has said two things right there. One is sometimes, like for her, she had a neurological condition like autism that had been undiagnosed. And it wasn't because she was in turmoil because she has autism. It was because she didn't know this part about herself. She hadn't pieced in the puzzle of what's really going on with my life situation uniquely. And for her, one of the things was she hadn't been diagnosed with autism. So obviously from a nervous system point of view, she could feel like something is off, but she couldn't pinpoint what it is. And I think part of the reason why she wanted to erase herself was because she knows something is wrong, but nobody else is thinking that something is wrong. And that can put a lot of alarm bells in your mind and put you in a survivor mode, because you can feel something is wrong, but you're not able to pinpoint what it is. Another thing she said was, as she gets older and she gains more experience, she starts understanding things better. That's another thing. When you're younger, you don't have a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience in life, so everything can seem very overwhelming, especially if you don't have parents helping you. I can attest that when I didn't understand about mental health, I didn't understand what was wrong with me. But I came to understand that having personally, like, I grew up without parents, and since the age of 6, not having parents, that can affect you at a neurological level still. It can bring in a lot of trauma. It can help. It doesn't help really. But I had not become more self-aware to understand how my life situation had impacted me and my neurological situation and my nervous system, why I was so anxious. So I could feel anxiety, but I could not relate it to my childhood experiences of not having a parent. But as I get older and I gain more life experience and I understand mental health and neuroscience, I understand, like, wow, that makes perfectly good sense that I had anxiety and I did not have parents. And now that I understand that, it stops being like this big thing. Like, I can understand what I'm feeling and what I have been feeling and why I feel it. It's not like I don't know it.
Trying to figure out how to be somebody that I respect, trying to find things that bring me some kind of fulfillment. That took a long time. Like, some people come straight out of school and they know all of that about themselves, but I didn't even know what I liked, you know. I am so glad that I'm still here, and I want you to stay here too. However insoluble your problems seem, however useless you feel, however much you feel like you don't belong here, whatever the magnitude of your sadness and suffering is, you have no idea how much things can change if you just stay here. If you're struggling, get help. Reach out to friends, family, seek professional care. You might find...
Yes, seek professional care. Talk to somebody. Seek professional care, please, please, please. Some of you go to your pastors because because that's, you think he's closer to God than you are. But this man or woman that you're talking to probably does not have any experience in psychology. He does not have any knowledge about neuroscience. He doesn't know anything, you know, about anything about anything. If you read the Bible and you're not able to understand it, and you're thinking all your solutions will be found in the Bible, I'm telling you, you need to go see a professional. Some of the people that you're going to are not even professional pastors. They don't have any qualifications in psychology, in trauma, in neuroscience. They are unable to help you. So when I say go get professional help, I'm saying go get professional help from people who've actually read far and wide about the human condition, human psychology, and they're able to help you.
Find yourself in some years' time sitting in a car park talking about how much your life changed and how happy you are to be here.
Yeah, I do hope that you do go get help and you start making small positive changes. You never know how quickly those small little positive changes in your life can change your brain and change your entire outlook of life and even bring you good fortune. It's small things like reading, exercising, trying to eat well, talking to a professional about your problems and your anxieties, taking a class like the one I'm offering so that you can understand mental health from a deeper and better point of view. The more you mature, the more you grow, the more you know, the more you practice good mental health, you'll figure out that life is a huge blessing and it's worthy it's nice to still be here. And I hope you get everything that you need, all the help that you need, and you get to be surrounded by people who love and care. Seek them out. Seek them out. Things will open up. Subscribe to this channel if you really need help figuring life out. This is what I do. This is what I do. So join this community. I love you, and may God bless you.